talking about income. Your income determines how much you can afford for a mortgage. Typically, RUPCO recommends that no more than 30% of your gross monthly income go towards your housing payment. Now, when I'm talking about a housing payment or a mortgage payment, I'm always talking about that PITI payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. When we're talking about gross monthly income, that's your income before taxes are taken out. If you are self-employed, it kind of does the reverse though, and we're actually talking about your net income. So if you're self-employed, you want to look at your Schedule C on your tax return, and it's typically the very last number on your Schedule C, and that will be your net. It's your gross minus all of your deductions. So if you get a paycheck and a W-2, we're talking about your gross income, which is before taxes are taken out. If you're self-employed, we're talking about your net, which is after your deductions. A lot of people have a lot of questions about why we use gross as opposed to net, if net is what you actually take home. The big reason is your gross is not adjustable. So your gross is set. Your net can be adjustable. So you could increase or decrease your withholdings. You could increase or decrease if you're putting into a retirement account. So on top of that 30%, we also are going to recommend that no more than 40% of your gross monthly income go towards your housing plus your debt. So what that means is about 30% for your housing, 10% for your debt. When we're talking about debt, we're only talking about what shows up on your credit report. So credit cards, car loans, personal loans, student loans, and installment loans. When we're talking about credit cards, we're only talking about the minimum monthly payments. We're not talking about that full amount that you owe. If you have a substantial amount of debt, that could potentially eat into the amount that you could afford for a mortgage. When I was talking to you guys before about waiting to get any new credit until you sit down and meet with us, this is where it could really affect you. This is where those student loans could also affect you. So if you have your student loans in deferment and you owe $50,000, $500 a month could max out that 10%. When you come in and sit down with us, one of the first things we do after we check your credit report is we're going to run an affordability calculator with you. And we're going to sit down and put your income into there. We're going to put your debts in there. We're going to give you an idea of about how much you could afford for a mortgage. Everywhere in the county, the taxes are going to have a major influence on how much you can afford. Depending on where you're going, it's going to be a little bit different. So as far as mortgage products go, when we're looking at mortgage products for you, and we're going to kind of give you an idea of what mortgage products are out there, the final decisions will be made with your banker, loan officer, or potentially it could be with us. There's a couple of different products out there that are available for first-time home buyers. In the state of New York, we have access to Sunny Mae. Sunny Mae is the state of New York mortgage agency. They offer mortgages for first-time home buyers. They only require a 3% down payment. They also have grants available. They work very well with our grants as well, and their rates are extremely low. The great thing is though that you can actually go online and look at their rates whenever you want. Another thing that we're lucky to have access to, especially here in Ulster County, is USDA. USDA is rural development, and these are loans for rural areas. Most of Ulster County is actually deemed a rural area. The only places that are not is the city of Kingston and parts of Port Ewan. There are two types of USDA loans. There's a USDA direct loan and a USDA guaranteed loan. The guaranteed loan is offered through some of our local lenders, and you would go through them for that, and that's meant for people who are a little bit higher income. And then there is the USDA direct loan, which is meant for people who are under 80% of the area median income, as done by HUD. We are going to check with everyone to see if you are income eligible for a USDA loan. RUPCO does do direct packaging for USDA loans, so if that's a route that you're going to take, we can actually do everything for you right in-house. There are some incredible benefits to USDA direct loans. They have a 3% rate today, but their rate can be subsidized down to as low as 1%. They offer no PMI, so that means no private mortgage insurance. And just so everyone knows, PMI or private mortgage insurance is something that you're going to pay monthly, typically if you don't have 20% down. So if you don't have 20% down, you're typically going to pay PMI, and it's added monthly to your mortgage payment. With USDA, there is no PMI. Also, they do 100% financing, so that means there's no down payment required, and they have no limit on sellers' concessions, and you can roll some of the closing costs into the loan. So there's a lot of great things about USDA, a lot of great things about Sunny Mae. When you come in and sit down with us, we'll give you our recommendation. We'll go over that affordability sheet with you, and you can then make a decision, talk to a couple of different lenders. Social Security income does count. It's non-taxable income, so that means we actually are going to gross that up. Typically 120 or 125% of it is what we're going to use. You can use Social Security income, you can use disability, you can use child support and alimony if you can prove that it will be ongoing for at least 3 years.